Hey, what up, my YouTube peeps? Let me give you a quick bicep flex. Cool? Alright, cool. This is hopefully going to be a really small, short video. Who knows, it might not be. I hope not, because I'm trying to finish an essay tonight. But I wanted to get a quick video out to you guys, just to keep you updated, keep you in the loop of how my powerlifting training is going. I'm also going to answer a few questions that I just saw pop up on my Facebook wall. So first of all, how's everything going with me? Everything's going pretty good. How much do I weigh? I weigh about 182, 183 pounds right now. I've been having days where I don't hit my carb intake. Usually it's the carb or the fat. Carb, fat, or maybe both. I won't hit my macros accidentally just because I'll be lazy as hell, trying to cram in food before I go to bed because I'm so lazy during the day. When it comes to eating, maybe I'm doing a lot of homework or studying a lot. Things happen, and anyways, so it's kind of brought me down in body weight a little bit. Had I been hitting my macros of 60 to 75 fat, 425 carb, 225 protein, I'd probably be around 184, 185. But since I've had multiple days within the past 3 weeks where I haven't hit those numbers, I've been under. Right now I'm, like I said, 182, maybe 183. And actually earlier in this week I had a day where I weighed in at 181, which to me is actually, I don't mind. It's a cool thing to me, knowing that it can be that easy for me to weigh 181 yet still lift the weights that I'm lifting. In case you didn't know, I'm lifting in the 181 pound category for my powerlifting meet, which is April 21st, 2012. So I have almost 2 months, a little bit less than 2 months from now and until then. If you're wondering what my current maxes are, the 3 lifts that matter, the bench press, my current training max is 335. I feel like I could probably put up a little bit more than that. My current training max for the deadlift is 465. I actually hit that last month. I hit 455 this month. In reality, it's probably higher. It's probably more like 475. I actually attempted 485 the other day, and I wasn't able to hit it. My buddy Brian also attempted it, and he got it up past his knees, so I give him props for that. But it's probably like 480, 485 right now. For whatever reason, I didn't hit it that day. I wasn't feeling good at all, and I've been sick these last week. I was sick multiple days, just slightly sick, but still enough to affect me. My current squat training max is about 455 at the moment. Last month I hit 440 for a solid rep. This month I may or may not go for heavier than 440, but in reality it's probably around 450 to 460, my actual max for squat. And if I did some drugs, it might be higher. Or if I snorted some like cocaine, all my maxes might be higher. Who knows? Or if I was in the zone, or you know, some ammonium, they might be higher. Anyways, the maxes I'm shooting for a 1350 total, which is 500 squat, 500 dead, 350 bench press. I'm pretty close to those numbers, and I have about, like I said, 2 months. What do you think? Do you think I can hit these numbers with what I'm currently at? A 350 bench, 500 squat, 500 deadlift? Let me know. Let me know. It would be interesting for you to form your opinion whether I could do that or not in the 181 weight class. And for me, it's either prove you wrong or prove you right. So at this moment in time, take a guess. Am I going to hit my numbers, get a 1350 total, or am I not? It's up to you. You decide, and we'll see. If you're right, awesome, and if you're not, then hey, it doesn't matter. This is all fun and games. So anyways, that's pretty much it for me, guys. When it comes to this update, that's basically it. I'm training 5-3-1 kind of powerlifting style. So I'll actually go heavy, and then not as heavy, super heavy, deload. That's basically how the weeks go. So it's like pretty damn heavy, not as heavy, extremely heavy, deload. Just like that. Week 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm really training variations of exercises that help, you know, the main lift. So for deadlifts, things such as deficit deads, for bench press, you know, close grip bench press, floor press. I might actually do some rack pulls this coming up month and next month. We'll see. I feel like I might need to do some rack pulls just to really feel heavy ass weight. Like feel what 500, 600 pounds feels like. That may help my deadlift, I'm pretty sure. When I did the 485 for my deadlift, I was able to bring it off the ground, but I only brought up the ground maybe, you know, 2 inches. That could mean I need to do more deficit deads. Maybe it means, or maybe another possible solution to bumping that up. Obviously, you know, time and deadlifting helps. But for, you know, the kind of, you know, quick progress that I really need to hit my 500, perhaps I need to strap on a shitload of weight and do some, you know, rack pulls. We'll see what happens, okay? And yeah, that sums it up for that. Now I'm going to take some questions from my Facebook page. I asked you guys if you had any questions since I'm recording this right now, and hopefully you don't mind. I'm going to answer these questions. If you don't want to watch it, it's all good, but maybe you might, I don't know, appreciate these answers or enjoy me answering these questions. So my buddy David Syme wants to know how I overcome plateaus when I hit a wall with lifting. So generally people talk about plateaus referring to strength plateaus, right? Strength. And you kind of have to, it's almost like you have to separate if what your goals are and whether you're hitting plateaus or not. Because if your goal is like hypertrophy, for example, actually growing muscle, etc., and a lot of people like think that they're hitting a strength plateau means that they're not growing. You know what I mean? Not necessarily. But let's just say you are focusing on these strength lifts, bench press, dead squat. How do you overcome plateaus? Many different ways. You really need to analyze what you're doing, what you're possibly doing wrong, what you're not doing enough of, what you're doing too much of. Chances are maybe you're not eating enough. Maybe you're not sleeping enough at night. Maybe you're working out in horrible conditions. Other things to bump up your plateaus. There's always something. It's crazy when it comes to your strength plateaus. Let's just leave it at strength plateaus and not weight at the moment or muscle gaining plateaus. To overcome strength plateaus for the main lifts, you can always do things that supplement, that help the main lift. For example, if you're trying to bench press more, you can always strengthen the shoulders, you can strengthen the lats, you can strengthen the triceps, even your grip. And all those things will convert towards helping your bench press. So, you know, if you want to make your bench press better, do JM presses. You know, maybe you're not doing enough shoulder pressing, maybe you're not doing enough pulling. Maybe you might want to close grip bench press a little bit. There's always something to do. And for squat, maybe if you're stalled on squat, maybe you're not deadlifting enough. Maybe you're not squatting enough volume. Maybe your form sucks. I probably should have said that first. Form, your technique. That's probably the first thing you should look at, you know, how you're lifting the weight. If it's not optimal form for your body mechanics, you should really fix that. Make that the first priority over other things, okay? Instead of, hey, I need to go do close grip bench press because my bench press sucks, you know, figure out what's wrong with your actual, you know, bench press for weight. We're not talking about the bro press, we're talking about the bench press. So find out what's actually wrong with the bench press that's you know, keeping you from hitting the weight you want to lift. Figure out what's wrong and fix it from there. Many different ways to overcome plateaus, guys. It starts off with form. Fix that. Hire someone to help you. You know, get someone to help you. Look at videos online. There's so many videos out there. Buy Ripeto's book. Look up Dan John online. Elite FTS. All these names. You know, make sure your form's good. After that, Look at your diet, nutrition, your sleep, your recovery. If you're not prepared to lift heavy-ass weights, you ain't gonna lift heavy-ass weights, and so on. So hopefully I answered your question. All right, I'll try to speed this up because this video could possibly get very long. Joe Allen wants to know, what do I do with my caloric intake during deloads? I keep my my macros the same, whether it's a regular day, an off day, or a deload week. I like to keep it simple. I don't want to have to think, oh shit, I gotta do different macros today. I'd rather just keep it all steady like this. I'm not much into carb cycling, that sort of thing. I'd rather just keep it all the same, okay? Whether I'm dieting or not. Obviously when I'm dieting, I have a refeed day. Okay, so Matthew wants to know, how do I gain muscle mass while still maximizing your strength gains? Most of the time, when you are constantly gaining strength, it carries over into muscle mass. It just does. As long as you're in a caloric
surplus.
Usually it does. And for most beginners, that's what I recommend, is focusing on strength and gaining strength more so than feeling the pump or constantly striving for hypertrophy, that sort of thing. I actually recommend the beginners build a platform of strength. Get those main lifts high, okay? That's what I always recommend to people. How do you gain muscle mass while maximizing your strength gains? Well, just hypertrophy style lifting and volume. So that pretty much answers that question. Like if I'm doing the 5-3-1 and I hit my main lifts, I always do exercises that assist those main lifts, but I also do exercises that will help me gain muscle. So my workout program right now isn't pure powerlifting per se. It's definitely not a bodybuilding program, but in all honesty, I can do what I'm doing right now and still gain quite, I wouldn't say 100% optimal in terms of gaining muscle, but god damn, it is close. I would definitely argue with someone if they said that what I'm doing right now is nowhere near optimal for muscle gaining for me. I would definitely argue against that. Chris wants to know why I'm so beautiful. No homo. Peter wants to know, have I ever tried electrostimulation devices to massage my muscle? No. Jake asked me to post a video about what I eat or how I make meals. Alright, I'll do that sometime soon. David wants to know, what do I do when you hit a wall when trying to gain weight? This is probably the easiest question asked here. What do you do? Well, I automatically, it's like, I just assume that you are counting macros when you're probably not if you ask that question. If you know how much macros you're taking in, there really is no guesswork whatsoever. Okay, if you're weighing yourself morning, daily, same conditions per weigh-in, morning after you shit, piss, spit, whatever, then you should know how your weight fluctuates on a regular basis, but also combine that with the information of knowing your macros. You should know exactly what to do. It's as simple as increase the macros. Increase the macros. Okay, increase the fat and or increase the carbs, assuming that your protein intake is adequate. It's as simple as that. That's how you gain more weight. How do you gain more muscle? Well, that also takes lifting into the equation, that your lifts, your workouts have to be stimulating enough, have to be engaging your muscles enough for your body to grow, to increase the size of the muscle that you have. So it's as simple as that. How to gain more weight? The macros. Gain more muscle size? The training plus the macros. It's as simple as that. Put yourself in a caloric surplus by knowing your macros, and that's it. It's easy as hell, my brother. David, that macros, MyFitnessPal. Brandon Douglas asks, how do you track the very small weight gains when bulking? It's easy to waste a month at maintenance calories when you're only looking to gain 2, maybe 3 pounds at the most in 1 month. Thanks, brother. How do you track? Honestly, I don't even weigh myself on a daily basis anymore. I don't need to. It's too much. Too much information for me to constantly weighing myself every morning. I mean, I'd rather be doing other things, especially on a bulk. I think a lot of people are afraid to be at maintenance calories. It seems like I'm getting this question a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, how do I know if I'm at maintenance or not? I mean, obviously, like, it might seem like your weight gain slows down, but it's almost like once you're at that surplus, it's not, it almost, I mean, this is just in my own experience. Like, once I found 60 to 75 fat, 425 carb, 225 protein, I mean, it's going to take me forever, such a long time, for me at least, for those macros to not make me gain weight on a continuous basis. Those macros basically make me gain, at this point, like 1 pound every 2 to 3 weeks, about. That's just guessing. It made me gain a little bit more earlier, but right now that's what it makes me gain. And I'm not exactly sure at what point in time, how many months or years from now, that amount would stop making me gain. I mean, obviously, if I keep gaining like non-stop, at some point I'm going to be very high body fat, etc. But it's like, I don't know how to explain how I feel. 2 to 3 pounds a month, that's great. That's awesome. How do you track that? It's just, maybe, okay, if you want to weigh yourself every day, that's the easiest way to do it. Weigh yourself every day. And from there, you can make those weekly changes so that you can really, really, really put yourself towards a 2 to 3 pound, increase in body weight per month. But it's like, it almost feels like you're overcomplicating it, Maybe this is because I come from the background that I did a competition and I understood all my macros. I understood what put me at what sort of like weight gain. I guess it would be different for a beginner or for someone who's just starting to do macros. They just found their maintenance. They're not really sure how much to add to their maintenance so that they're gaining 2 to 3 pounds per month. Honestly, 2 to 3 pounds per month is, for me, honestly, that's a little bit too much weight gain for my preference. I'm looking more towards like 1 pound a month or 1.5 pounds a month. Because, you give it a year, 12 months, 24 to 36 pounds, shit, that's a lot of weight. So, if you do 1 pound per month, that's 12 pounds. 12 pounds, okay? I mean, the body doesn't need a shitload of surplus calories to gain weight. It really doesn't. It might be optimal to have, one, like, say, 500 compared to 300 per day. I'm just guessing. I have no fucking clue. But from a competitive bodybuilding point of view, it's detrimental when it comes to cutting down. It definitely is. It's definitely detrimental to cutting down because, you're going to either have to cut down for longer, or if you cut down for less amount of time to get to where you need to be, you're going to lose more muscle mass. Give and take. Brandon, I really don't know how to answer your question. How do you track the very small weight gains? It's as simple as you track the weight gains. You track your weight. And you adjust based on your daily weigh-ins and your weekly, your weekly evaluations. James Hopper wants to know, what weights are you going to try to hit for the lifts? 500, 500, 350. Aaron wants to know, how are you going to make sure you peak for the competition? I'm actually going to talk to the coaches to see what the best way to do this is. I know there's so many damn peaking methods, this and that. Honestly, like and a lot of people are really serious about their peaking things. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to find out if it's really important at the given stage I'm at. I'm a complete noob when it comes to powerlifting. I mean, if you gave me 10 years, I might be competitive, like with with more of the competitive guys in powerlifting. But at this point right now, I'm such a beginner, man. Shit. I don't even know if it's necessary for me to peak. I'll find out. I'm gonna check with my coaches, see what their opinion is, find out what's up. Okay, Peter wants to know what your take on pass parallel squats versus full low squats ass to grass. You already discussed about this, then just ignore this one. What's my opinion on pass parallel squats? I see parallel or slightly past parallel as the standard, as the objective, squat distance for it to be called a full squat. Simple as that. It's what qualifies a squat in a powerlifting meet. It's what qualifies it in my mind. As long as you're going parallel or beyond, it's cool. However, past parallel, that's up to you or whoever is doing the squatting. It's up to that person, whatever. But as long as they're doing at least parallel, they're getting a lot. They're getting a good bang for their buck. It's as simple as that. I mean, you don't need to go all crazy and try to tell people they need to go super ass to the grass. I mean, it's preference. Honestly, a lot of people squat better going below parallel just for more of that reflex. So, anyways, I don't really want to talk about past parallel. It's funny, this guy was trying to tell me that, and I pulled Ian McCarthy into it because I wanted him to make this guy go away because this guy wasn't going away. For whatever reason, he was trying to convince me, like over a span of days, that lifting, that basically a full range of motion is not as effective as, say, a quarter range of motion for lifts. He was like, some of the world's strongest men do half reps or some shit like that. I was like, dude, what the stupidest argument I've ever had. Anyway, I'm digressing. This guy was such an idiot. He's probably watching this, dude. God, you're crazy. Dylan wants to know how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Not sure, sir. Aaron wants to know, are you going to take Lovato out? We will see. We will see. So anyways, guys, this is a long video now that I answered all those questions. Let me see if there's any more. Martin wants to know, what is more beneficial for gaining mass? Drop sets, compound sets, or supersets? What is more beneficial for gaining mass? Dude, I don't know. This is such a weird question. Drop sets, compound sets, or supersets? What is more beneficial? Drop sets, compound sets. What's the difference between superset and a compound set? Not sure. God, honestly, the only reason I would ever do a drop set is because it's kind of fun. The only reason I'd do it is if I had to leave the gym now, but I still had this itch to lift more. That's it. I mean, there's no reason to do shitloads of drop sets like you see in a lot of these videos. Like, yeah, you got a drop set. It's going to make you build more muscle. It's like, shit, you just got done lifting. Okay, take the time under tension, take the tension that you just got from lifting that 225 over the span of 40 seconds, time under tension, or over 60 seconds, and you're going to compare that, and you're going to say that adding, 100 pounds for 40 seconds time under tension is going to somehow add on top of that? Maybe, but I don't know. Science hasn't even gotten into this shit yet. All these drop sets, compound sets, supersets. I mean, there's a lot of things that science has covered, but honestly, I don't think it's covered drop sets and supersets. And there's so much, you see people having great results who don't drop set, who do drop set. Honestly, with so many things in lifting weights, it seems like shit comes down to your preference. What do you prefer? I only prefer drop sets if I have like no time whatsoever. If my girlfriend calls me and says, fuck me now, and I'm like, oh fuck, drop set, run home, fuck her. That's pretty much it. That's why I do a drop set. That's it. Okay, because that's what I prefer. Anyways, next question. Very intelligent Jensen, you're an everyday Carlin. Okay, anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Answered a bunch of these questions. Hopefully, gave you some answers. Honestly, these answers, they aren't like scientific and shit. I mean, I understand that So don't you know, bag on me, Matt. You're giving bad advice. This wasn't advice. This is just me answering some questions. So thanks a lot for asking these questions, guys. I really appreciate it. I can always count on you guys for all sorts of crazy shit. Yeah, pretty much it. Good night, guys. Peace. And gotta go wake up tomorrow morning and finish an essay, or I'll just finish it now. Fuck it. All right, later, guys.
And quit being a little bitch. August cake.